Everybody, happy Sunday. Got some windshield time, so want to get into a video that I've had actually to do for a couple weeks on my list, and just now getting into a chance to really talk about it, which is feedback. Sellers, when you all list your home and sometimes list your home for too much money or think it's worth too much money, you are inclined to potentially look for feedback, right? Feedback is something that you definitely want as a seller and a listing agent to kind of know where you are. Sometimes I will say with feedback, sellers aren't ready for negative feedback, and they're usually always shocked and they get mad and upset and it pisses them off. But in general, I would say less and less feedback is being given every single day. It continues to be less and less and less, to the point where, I don't know if it'll go away. There's always probably a little bit of feedback, but agents have been sued. I have been subpoenaed personally for my feedback, and so I learned, I guess not necessarily the hard way, but I learned, I don't really give what I would say is probably fully legitimate feedback. Now, I'm not lying necessarily, but I'm usually just going to give, this floor plan just didn't work for them. This location just wasn't what they were looking for. Something like that, hey, just kind of too many repairs. I don't really give very specific details, and I only give that when the agent kind of calls me and reaches out. That's pretty much what I do, and the reason is I'm very vague. I want to be respectful to the other agent, so I don't want to ignore them or say, no, I'm not giving you any feedback. But I got subpoenaed. I'm going to talk about that. This was about, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago now, and I actually went out to a home, and it was I'm just going to call it at the time especially, a higher price point home, way above the median sales price for our area. And went into the home, had working with these buyers for a while, and we'd seen several homes in this price point. I'm familiar with this price point, so I know the expectations of the condition and everything of the home in this price point is much different than the lower price points. So went into the home, and the home almost seemed intentionally like not maintained interior wise, especially shaved beard hairs all over the sink, dirty laundry everywhere, had a terrible smell, dishes piled up in the sink, nasty, food out. It was definitely not, and almost like what you would expect of going into a home that had a low-end, renter in it, slumlord situation. And so my feedback, I don't remember what exactly I wrote, but I wrote something along the lines of, hey, home really wasn't in good showing condition for this price range, and I kind of made notes of those things to me is, hey, listen, this really turned my buyers off. Basically, with them seeing this stuff, and they couldn't actually look at the house for what the house was. They were so distracted by the personal items and just the nastiness of everything. And I'm not saying that if it was like that, they would have bought the home. I'm not saying that at all. But it was, even myself, we're so distracted to wow, I just did not expect this. So I put that in the feedback. I get a call, again, 4 years ago, I'm trying to remember all this. I get a call, I think from the listing agent, maybe the next day or that night. It was just asking for some clarifying questions on everything. And I kind of just very bluntly told them, hey, listen, you're not really going to sell that home in that price point with it being in that condition. Didn't say those words, but that was how I summed it up essentially. And so the next day I got a call from an attorney and was like, hey Steven, I want to talk to you about your feedback you left on blah 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 blah. It's like my client, who I guess was a divorce situation. The husband, or I guess soon to be ex-husband, was still living in the home, and the ex-wife had already moved out. So the attorney that called me was working on behalf of what would be the ex-wife. And in their mind, it definitely seemed like, and potentially could have been the case, I don't know, but the husband was sabotaging the sale of the home. And so they wanted to basically, like, get some clarifying around my feedback. And at the time, it was, sure, I was just blurting, here's my feedback, not thinking anything of it. Well, I think it was like a couple days later, and I'm about to leave for Hawaii for my friend's wedding this next week. Well, a couple days later, I get a call from my admin at my office. It's like, hey, Stephen, a cop just came by here and dropped off a subpoena for you. And I was like, what the heck? I've never been subpoenaed in my life. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. Got no clue what to do. So obviously I go to my broker, and, we have, as agents, we have errors and omission insurance to where we can, get access to kind of these attorneys real quick that can kind of help us with this situation. And so, I'm scrambling, and the day that the subpoena is for me is the day that we leave for Hawaii. So I'm like, holy crap, like, wait, I can't not show up, right? But it all got worked out. I didn't have to show up. But I got fully subpoenaed for my feedback because of the divorce situation. Also, there are several cases around the country where real estate agents, especially buyer's agents, have been sued for feedback, straight sued. One of the biggest cases, and I'm not going to pretend I'm going to sum it up of what it was in a nutshell, was this buyer's agent showed this home. And I think the feedback was something like, hey, buyers didn't like the home, significantly overpriced, yada, yada, yada. And so like a couple weeks later, the buyers ended up coming back to the home and like increasing their offer. I guess they gave like or came up their offer a little bit, decided to offer. And these sellers knew it was the buyers, or buyer's agent at least, who left that feedback. And they refused to accept the offer of those buyers based on the feedback. Well, the buyers never gave permission to the buyer's agent to leave that feedback. So they had no clue that their agent had left feedback, which is the case 99.99% of the time. Right? It's not really a conversation you're going to have, agent client. Hey, do you want me to leave feedback? Hey, what do you want me to tell them? It's just not something you do. So the buyers ended up suing their agent because they wanted a house. The agent left feedback that was not in the best interest of the buyers. Again, signed a buyer's rep agreement. That's where it was. It's under a buyer's rep agreement. Again, if you know me, know my videos, we don't do those until you're basically ready to put an offer in. So therefore, it's a nice thing that we do that is kind of us off the hook for certain things in that aspect. But so they end up suing. Well, it's becoming more and more where any lawyers are just looking for a way to sue agents, and people in general looking for a way to sue agents. And so what happens is you're ruining it for everybody, and so now people aren't really giving feedback, including myself. I don't give feedback. Agent reaches out to me, sure, I'll probably give you a little bit of feedback there, but I will not submit feedback there. And I try to tell my sellers now, hey, just so you know, it's very rare we get feedback. I will shoot them screenshots. For one, it's all automatic system for us, right? As soon as somebody ends a showing, it's going to shoot them an email, say, hey, please give us feedback. It's going to shoot them an email the next day, say, hey, please give us feedback. I will tell you, for me, I have those notifications turned off. I don't even get those emails when I show it. And then, I'll follow up with them with a phone call, text, and I'll shoot my clients, hey, here's a screenshot where I've tried 2 times to get a hold of this person. They won't even respond. And I don't, it's because I understand the game. I'm not mad at these agents. It is a little bit annoying that you're ignoring me. I at least don't ignore other agents whenever, they shoot me a message, but it's part of it. And I'm not going to say that they're in the wrong by not doing it, but that is the reality of it. I think less and less feedback by agents because they're just tired of getting sued. And so I don't think there's necessarily a way to fix it. I think that's just the direction it's going. Everything's going to be less and less feedback. So sellers, don't expect at least what feedback you get. Very rarely you're going to get some very truthful and honest feedback from people. I would probably only say about 1 in every 3 3 agents are going to leave feedback. So you got to think, 3 showings just to get 1 feedback, and then it's probably going to be very vague. And floor plan didn't work. Just not interested. Either buyers still continuing to look, something like that. Versus, hey, here's why they didn't buy it. Here's why they aren't interested. It's not really going to get that much anymore. So wanted to just kind of share that more so with sellers there, but obviously giving my story of why I don't do it. I don't want to be subpoenaed again. I don't want to be involved in a divorce situation over my opinion. So have a good day.